Today we're going to be looking into SPY, Tesla, and Ethereum. SPY and just the overall market in general got a decent bounce on Friday, but it still wasn't enough to clear major resistance levels. But looking into our chart over here, we see that it found some type of support in this channel. This channel was created using the October 27th, 2023 low. Even though the market finished green, again, it wasn't enough to clear major levels, but we do find some support around this 550, 552 mark area. For the upside, we would watch our resistance. Our next resistance would probably be around 567, right? In terms of where the market is looking, if you were to go see more downside, we probably would come back, even test that 527 low, right? So based on this 2023 low, we are still above it in terms of price action and volume. But if we were to introduce the anchored VWAP in 2024 low, which was the April 19, 2024 low, we are still right underneath it. So again, if we clear this 565 mark, we would be trending above last year's low. So that would help with the price action in terms of volume just gaining back its momentum and probably see a reversal to the upside. However, if we break below this channel, we could definitely see some downside action, price action to 530, 540 around this support zone right here, right? So watch out for these key levels in the coming weeks. Again, the bottom might take some time, especially with headlines just swaying the market back and forth. Let's switch over to Tesla. Tesla, just looking at the overall picture in Tesla, we see that the market made a new high back in December 2024, and this was a high of after a consolidation of 4 years, right? Because the last high was back in November 4th, 2021, and unfortunately, price action just came right back. And not only did it come back, but it came right back into the consolidation area of where it was trending all the way back into 2021. So we're back into this 4-year consolidation area. To see price action swing to the upside, it might be a little bit difficult just because we failed multiple support levels on our way down. The most bounce we got was back in 378, and after that bounce, we've been pretty much shorted all the way down till 220. So what are we looking at now? We're pretty much looking at 220 as our support zone, 242 as our next support level, and resistance is at 261. For the bulls, you really want to claim back that 300 mark level to clear all this overhead over here, right? To see once we pass that 300, 315 level, I would say we could see some price action right back to the upside. But until then, our best bet is probably just consolidating over here and preventing any further downside. If we were to see more downside, I would probably watch out for this 166 level. Switching over to Ethereum. The reason why I chose Ethereum for this video is because putting on our EMA crossovers, we see something that happened previously that led to a significant price action. So this crossover, well, it did happen over here, but this was more of a head fake as it went up and came back. The upside didn't last that long, as opposed to when the price action is coming from a long-term uptrend. When we see a crossover like this, right, we see significant price action before finding some type of bottom. So we over here back in 2022, after this crossover, we saw a 50% downside move, and going all the way back to 2018, again, we saw a 40% downside move, and even came all the way almost 72% before finding an actual bottom, right? But again, so just in the short term, we could possibly see more downside, probably I would say like 30 to 50%. um, until we find a bottom. But the good news is, well, not that good, but we are pretty much going to be facing a bottom after our price corrections, right? So over here we saw a 40%, actually a 70% downside move before we found a bottom, but the bottom was almost August all the way till like 6 months in, right? 6 months in, we found a bottom, and over here we see June, and shortly after it was actually like this drawdown over here. We in 2 weeks we touched a major low, and then it started to form a base, right? If we were to draw in our price action, our anticipated price action, if the same thing was to happen again, we would be looking at 1200 as our next level of support, which would kind of align with our 2022 June 2022 lows. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found it useful, please like and share.